Hello, this is Kll131 with the game of Domination on Skidrow, and in this game I'm using my favorite weapon, the Kll131 with holographic sight, the AT4 and Scavenger, stopping power, steady aim. So yeah, anyway, I've been having quite a good day. Had some listened to some music on Spotify. I'm not sure if you know what Spotify is, but it's like a good music program in my opinion, with the most of the like songs free. Maybe they're a bit late on updating some of them, but yeah, it's a good program. You can Google it if you don't know what this. Anyway, on Skid Row, I usually like to be in the thick of the fighting on B, which is usually very high-paced combat up there. So I usually patrol depending on how the other team plays. I just patrol around the B flag, hoping to pick people off. I prefer to hold the C and B on Skid Row, just to I think that A is very hard to get away from if you're being spawn trapped. Same thing if you're playing search and destroy. I find that when you're planting on Skid Row, you might as well just sit and camp at the house where you spawn, because it's very hard if you don't have Marathon Lightweight to get out of your spawn, because you can place people on the roof, you can claymore. There's pretty much only 3 ways to get around it. So in this game I end up dying quite a lot. I think I get 10 deaths, but I also get quite a lot of kills. It's a pretty high-paced game. I don't think I do a lot of camping. I had quite a lot of games to choose from in this, to what you can do for a commentary. I chose this one because it was a pretty fun game. I had very fun playing this game, and I had another match on Favela with the ACR silenced, going 36-6. But I felt that on Favela I don't really have a sort of good tactic with the ACR. I was just testing the class, so I ended up getting a lot of claymore kills by camping. But anyway, on Skid Row I like to simply rush around here. As you can see, pretty much the entire game I'm around the B flag. I don't do a lot of playing. I used to sit around at C and wait for people trying to capture that flag, but before there was a lot more action around C. Now most of the games have a lot more action around B. So I don't know, the game changes depending on people playing and how people adapt. But anyway, I also had a Riot Shield game that I could have done a commentary on. I wanted to have a commentary with the Riot Shield, but I don't really think I did that great in that game. It was a pretty fun game for me because I don't play the Riot Shield a lot. I got 27-8, but the Riot Shield is very frustrating to play with because people on your screen, they simply rush right at you, knife, and when you watch the kill cam they somehow manage to get around you on their screen, and somehow people just shoot you through the shield sometimes because of the lag and simply the delay. Anyway, so with the Kll131 I like to drop shot or drop shoot. I don't really know what you call it, but it's a tactic that has been pretty successful for me. I'm not really sure why, but it seems to work the best with the UMP and Kll131 for me. Not so much with other weapons. Maybe not the light machine guns either. I like to, otherwise when I'm not drop shooting, depending on the surrounding area or what gun I'm using, I like to strafe left and right. And maybe for some reason when people are crouching and strafing left and right, I have a pretty hard time hitting their body, because it seems like their back changes, like if you're leaning. I've watched a couple of videos of games where people spam the lean button and they have a very hard time like hitting each other. But anyway, so I've been practicing this drop shot, I'm gonna call it, and it's been pretty successful. So anyway, on Skidrow, this little green room here, a lot of people avoid it because they call it like a death hole. I don't know. I find that if you control this room, if you set up a claymore where I put it up before, you can pretty much just control the people rushing from A. You can get pretty much a lot of kills there because you're in like a darker room. You can prone behind that little hill of debris. So I've been having a lot of good kill streaks, like good games and stuff when I'm been using that tactic. But I've also on Skidrow, when you get the spawn trap on A and people are rushing through that little room with the forklift. Anyway, I have been having a lot of fun playing with a light machine gun. I like the Mw2, I don't know why. And just using steady aim, scavenger, stopping power, and just continuously spraying. You don't start shooting when you see an enemy, you just shoot before you round corners. I think it's called pre-shooting. And you just go into that room, shoot, get 3 people, die, repeat, and sometimes you get like more than 3 and sometimes you don't die. So I've had very fun games. They're going like 70 kills to 10 deaths, and yeah, it's been it's pretty crazy doing that tactic. I was going to do it in this game, but the enemy I don't really know what the enemy kept swapping what sides they were taking, and right now they're holding C. So sitting here was probably my most sort of camping while I was sitting in that green room. The tactic I use while playing right now is I play very aggressively until I get a decent kill streak, and then when I start getting close to Harriers and Chopper Gunners, I go more to a sort of defensive game type when I'm just waiting. You don't get a lot of kills, but if you do get the kill streak, they can make up for it. So here I get a nice little wall bang there, and my Harrier, I see a guy, I know I only need 1 more kill for my payload, so I just put it on whoever's outside and I get it. So yeah, you also see me reloading a lot. Maybe if you watched my unedited frag footage, in which there's also a video of me, or a clip of me shooting a riot shield guy right at the riot shield and still getting him. I don't know if it affects anything with the FMG. I always use the FMG, but I don't know. And anyway, you can see that I reload after pretty much every single kill. And sometimes it, like when you shoot a guy and he gets to last stand, you reload before you realize that you didn't kill him. It gets me killed maybe once every 3 games, depending on how often people are using last stand. So anyway, you see me doing a lot of, like, the enemies seem to get spawn trapped on C now. Even though they were holding B, they were spawn trapped at C. So I don't really know, the spawn system in Modern Warfare 2 isn't that great, but now that they only have B, they're spawning inside B. So now their whole team knows I'm here. They're pushing. I'm just rotating claymores. So I end up getting knifed here. But I went on a pretty good rampage there, in my opinion. So the AT4 is, when using the TAR, one of my favorite secondaries, because the TAR with steady aim is just, it's a pretty much a very high DPS, and when you're in close quarters, and at long range with a holographic sight or a silencer, both of them help a lot in my opinion. You're pretty much just gonna kill them. Here I see I kill a sniper, they're spawning at B, and I camp that window, and he comes right when I stop. I said that in my other commentary. I said the same thing. When you're watching a corner, now the game goes a little laggy for a minute or something. Anyway, when you're watching a corner, you round the corner, and you were just waiting for the enemy to round the corner, and the second you stop watching the corner, that's when they usually run. Maybe I should, like, when I feel like moving, I should wait 5 extra seconds or something next time, just to see if it improves anything. Anyway, here the game is over, so thank you for watching, and if you liked it, please rate and subscribe.